Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, MT Gloop, like always is Noah Bailey. So today we are doing our fantasy box office summer picks. It's been very fun watching all the movies that we picked back in January come out and see how well they did at the box office. So now we get to do a little recap of those movies and then pick the next batch. So, I did just do a little cross referencing. These numbers aren't the most updated. I don't know exactly when the site updates. I'll even refresh again just to make sure that it's exactly updated because I know for a fact your biggest movie uh, is not it is way lower represented on here than it should be. But
Yeah,
regardless, this
I
I don't
think
think.
that's the
Hmm?
isn't that the or what is it, net revenue that the number shows?
Yes.
Right.
Um, So I don't think the position will be different. I think I would still be slightly ahead, but it
Okay.
wouldn't. It would be a lot closer if they were actually updated. But we'll get more to that in
Yeah.
just a second. But currently, as far as this website is concerned, I am ahead at 171 million total, and you currently, as far as this website is concerned, have negative 38.6 million.
Hmm. Thanks, Crime 101. And Dracula, dude. Those two movies alone just tanked me. Gosh.
Let's go ahead and just kind of work backwards from your picks here, because unfortunately
Yeah.
for you, all your movies outside of Mario just absolutely tanked.
It's
So
literally every single one. Wow.
so there are some caveats here we'll get to. So Crime 101 had a 90 million budget, so it needed to make 225 million to break even. That movie made 72. Didn't even make its budget back.
Oh, oh my gosh. Which, like, I should have seen coming because at the time I'd heard nothing about this movie, but like still.
Still, you you think go make something with Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth, but nope. And
I'm like, come on.
I also thought
Uh,
that Glenn Powell was a decent draw, but apparently not,
yeah.
since How to Make a Killing
Nice.
did not. It needed 37 to break even. It made 17. At least it made its budget
At least
back
it made its
barely.
budget, I guess.
Barely. And The Mummy, that actually just came out this past weekend.
Okay.
So these numbers are
Okay.
obviously not
I feel
final,
better about that.
but it only had a 22 million budget, so it needs about 55 to break even. That seems more doable. But
Only
as
five
far as
million. I
this
mean,
website's concerned, again, I don't think it's tracked all the way through Sunday, so it might update to be a little higher later on. But it's currently at 5 million,
but
so it's a decent start for a kind of lower profile movie. Decent. um, yeah, good luck, have fun, don't die. I think it looks like a fun enough movie, but apparently no one saw it. So on a 50 million
yep.
break even point, it made eight.
Didn't make half its budget is
Correct.
insane. And it's only a $20 million budget.
Yep. Like if I think you made the right call. If I'm just looking at the list of movies, like, oh, that has 20 million budget, like that should make that
That's
back,
what
no
I'm
problem.
saying.
Apparently not.
Think like, oh yeah, there's like no budget. There's no way that can come back to bite me. Negative
Yeah.
41
Like
million.
I don't know. Like maybe it's because I didn't see many advertisements for it, but like I don't know. If I were in a movie theater and saw from the director of Pirates of the Caribbean, here's this fun looking movie. I don't know. I might
Yeah,
go
that's a
see it.
fun name. Like,
Um, and then Yumi and Tuscany, another one that
yeah.
came out pretty recently on April 10th, so it still has a good amount of theater time left. But it's already off to a decent start on 18 million budget. It needs 45 to break even. Already made 12.7. So
Yeah. Feel a
that
little better about this one. Yeah, just it's got. I don't know. It feels like it's like a romancy movie. It's not exactly. I feel like if this movie was in February, it would have done even better.
probably,
But I'll take it.
yeah. And then yeah, that weird Dracula movie. 52 million budget.
52.
It made 42.
I'm like, did this movie even come out in America? Like, what is this movie?
I don't
Like,
know. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't seen anything about it outside of you picking it here, so I have no idea what it is. But it could have been worse. Yes. The Strangers is one that I thought would be a surefire preview. That was even one that I was
right?
thinking about. Because the other movies in the past, I think they also have slightly lower budgets, but they've still made like, 30 to 40 million each.
Mm-hmm.
And this had an 8.5 million budget. It only needed 21 and it made about a little over 10.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hmm.
crazy.
I guess maybe the first two just weren't good enough for people to come back for the third one. They just kind of stopped coming. Um, and then the bomb pick I gave you did actually come out, that being Hoppers. And I was
Wasn't too.
certain that this would be a bigger flop than it was. Pixar movies are very hit or miss these days. I thought this
They
movie would
are.
just, I don't know, I didn't really have high hopes for it, and I still haven't seen it, but apparently it's did decently. The reason why I was kind of iffy on it is because it had 150 million budget, needed to make 375 to break even, and it's currently sitting at 356.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not. Yeah, if you had asked me, I would have also thought this movie would have been bad. So I'm shocked that it make it as well
Hmm.
as it did. I wish the
Yeah.
budget was less because, dang, that would have been nice to actually have some
It's
points. But
currently your second highest grossing movie.
yeah, and
so
it's still negative 18,
so if that had 100 million, it would be in the green right now, but it
literally.
yeah.
But no, it's fine.
But it's fine because you have Mario Galaxy.
Oh my god, dude! If I didn't have this movie, do you know how bad this would be?
Pretty bad.
Imagine if you had 600 million more and I had 600 million less. Like, I think it'd be
Yeah.
over.
You could pick Toy Story and Minions and Avengers and Spider-Man. I don't even know if it
All of
would.
them, and it wouldn't matter. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But you do on 110 million and needed 275 to break even and made that in a weekend. Actually made that domestically in a weekend. Now at 649. Once again, this isn't fully updated. I went
Mm.
on Box Office Mojo before this, just checking a couple of things. This currently has over 740, so
Woo!
you actually should be in the green overall. Like
Oh, thanks.
this
I
should
don't
be
think I've
closer
been
to
in the
like
green. I don't think I've been in the green since we started this game.
that feels right. Yeah.
Because they start going down, and I don't think it ever came back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you should be closer to negative. Sorry, you should be closer to 60 million ish. So
Take it.
yeah, and that obviously still could go up. Actually, that movie hasn't even released in Japan yet,
Woo!
and like the movie industry in Japan isn't as big as even some other Asian countries, but it still is Mario. It still might do another couple dozen
Mm.
million over there. So yeah, I think that's a very nice buffer for you. And I'm actually in a position where one of my movies hasn't even come out yet, that being Mother Mary.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Apparently it has like a slight international release with 70,000. That's probably just like select theaters over there. Still doesn't have a budget yet, but I imagine it's not going to be super high. Um, so I still feel confident that regardless of what that budget is, even with the updated Mario numbers, I still think I'll be slightly ahead, but remains to be seen how well that movie actually does.
Mm.
I can only imagine too. I thought, oh, the first one did well enough to get a sequel, so maybe it'll do something. No, not really. It just barely broke even with its budget
Dang.
at 18.5 when it needed 45 to actually break even. So
I'm not gonna. The break even points are brutal, man. Having
yeah,
to be 2.5 times is.
yeah,
Ooh, that's tough.
yeah. Next, like if we do this again next year, we might just do it where it just needs to make double and see how that shakes out. But at least for right now, we'll just keep
Yeah,
it as
keep it as
is.
it is. Yeah.
Um, Iron Lung, the Markiplier produced movie for 3 million. It made 51 million,
Out of
which
nowhere.
yeah, I'm like, it's one of those where like he's gone on record saying he didn't like think anyone would see it. It was just a little passion project. Like, you know, like he was self financed. He's been doing YouTube for so long he was able to produce it himself. But like it did very well for him, so that's
Mm-hmm.
good and pretty much all profit for me. Wuthering Heights, I honestly thought it would do a little better. It needed 200 million to break even. It made 241. It came out on Valentine's Day. I figured it would have a bigger boost by that, but apparently it just kind of didn't. But oh
Hey,
well,
you
still,
should got profit.
yeah, I definitely did get profit for that. I also got it with Ready or Not 2. Here I come. That's still in theaters, but on a 14 million budget, it needed 35 to break even. It's currently sitting at 38, so at least a little profit there.
Mm-hmm.
Goat was not. 80 million budget, needed 200 break even. It's made 185. So that's is that my biggest? Well, okay, that's not my biggest flaw, but it's still I don't know. I feel like that had higher potential, but also it wasn't very good. So I don't expect so
Yeah.
much of it. I'll get to this one in just a second. Scream 7 uh, actually outperformed, from what I could tell, actually outperformed Scream 6, which is funny because people actually liked that movie, and this movie was very divisive. But
Mm.
this one had a 45 million budget and need 112 to break even, and it's made 212. So that was a good pickup for me.
Yeah, 100 million in profit is
Yeah, I don't think it
wonderful.
was worth you know giving you Mario over it, but whatever,
I
it's
mean,
fine.
yeah, but at least they didn't give it for like something that lost money.
Yeah. And also my biggest hitter, at least right now, at least one that has made the most money, is Project Hail Mary,
Hmm.
a movie that I saw and I believe is absolutely fantastic. On a 200 million budget, it needed 500 break even. Here it's saying it's at 523 million. On Box Office Mojo, it was closer to 570. So uh, once again, I think
Probably
this
get
number should be
outdated.
slightly higher, and that is actually having an extended theater run, so it might even get upwards of six or 700, maybe even eight if it's able to stay that long.
Mm.
But yeah, so overall, I think like 4 hour first times playing this game, you know I think we made a lot of calls that were smart, but apparently this this first half of the year was not the best for you specifically, apparently. Um, but
Very evidently.
I think there is very much so time to turn this around with some of the movies coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, like we're getting into the summer now. That's usually when movies hit the hardest. So it's anyone's game, theoretically.
Absolutely, especially if Mario can keep doing as well as it is, and it
Keep going to
keep
see.
going.
Keep going, Mario.
Yep. Okay, so let's see if we can't start the next draft. Uh, Start now. Um, since you're currently in the last, do you want to do random or do you want to do it based on standings? You would go
It's
first, I
up to you.
believe.
It's your call. Your
Oh,
call.
I'd say the loser picks. Which would you rather do?
Ah, we'll just do random because
Okay.
it's not. I mean, it's pretty close.
You don't need pick time.
Now, if I didn't have Mario, absolutely I go first.
Right.
But
um.
nah, but yeah, we can do random. And then it alternates, like you get one and then it's two and then it's one and one and one, or how is it?
So last time it was you went, then I got two picks, then you got two, then I got two, and then I,
Okay.
or yeah,
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
yeah, until it's toes over.
Okay, so that does make up for it not going first. It's like, okay, if you get one, then I'll get two, and vice versa.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
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 Summer
All right. So
Jam.
I'm over on this side. I got it over up on here. So I
Okay.
assume once you hit the button, I'll be able to just like hop in, I guess.
Yeah. I'm in a waiting room. And we do also get 8 picks along with one alternate, just like last time. Both our
Okay.
alternates lost money last time, so it didn't matter what
It's like
those were.
whatever. Okay.
Mine was the bride was. I'm so glad that wasn't one of my actual picks.
Whoo!
That would
That
have
would have been
tanked
rough.
me.
Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Now read more. Okay. Start draft.
And let's see if I can
Let's
find
see
it
who
on
starts
here.
first. So you go first.
Okay. All right. Now where's
Feeling I know what your first is.
I mean, yeah, but all right. Summer drafts. Okay. Oh, this looks wild. Okay. All right. So yeah, where is it? Yeah, we're going with Toy Story because yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's
There.
it's gonna make a lot of money. It's Toy Story. While I don't agree with them making a 5 or really a 4, honestly,
Yeah.
it's gonna print money. Let's be real.
At least 5 maybe looks better. The trailers look better than 4. It's not saying
Yeah,
much because I felt the trailers for 4 were very underwhelming, but at least, I don't know, these
yes,
look a little better.
yeah. But
Maybe.
the thing is, 4 still made like 1.2 billion, I think, or
It made a
something
little
like
over 1
that. So
billion. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
even if the trailer doesn't look amazing, you kind of can't go without it. You know, it's
Mm,
just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a big movie in my opinion. I think,
mm,
well, everyone's opinion, but yeah, I think it's gonna kick off the summer pretty hard, and I think it's just like you can't argue with the consensus
yeah.
pick.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. If you weren't in a losing position and didn't like have to get a sure pick like that, what would have been your first pick?
Oh, I was picking Toy Story first,
Okay.
regardless.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I mean
I just
that for me that was the consensus number one pick. That's why I wanted it to make it random because I didn't want to just be like, oh, cool, I get Toy Story. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
because I feel like that was probably your first pick too. So it's like
Well,
it might have been, it might not have. I don't know, but
maybe.
I
My,
assumed as much because I
I
just,
was I was actually confident that your first pick was going to be the Odyssey.
see, I thought about it, but again, my thing with the Odyssey, and I think the Odyssey is a great pick, but my thing with the Odyssey is honestly, Toy Story for me is a sure thing. The Odyssey,
Hmm,
there's a little bit of, yeah, it could go one way or other. No matter what happens, Toy Story's gonna crush it.
that's
Like
true.
I don't like I and that's the thing. Like it just the Odyssey I think is also going to do really well, but I think it's just for me it's like at this high up you take the sure thing.
Right.
But I honestly think no. But the Odyssey definitely probably is a top pick for sure.
Hmm.
But for me, Toy Story just had to.
Yeah. I'm also going to go
Big decisions.
between two. There's one that has a lower budget that I know is going to make it back, and there's another that I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure is going to make a lot of money, but I don't know if.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to go ahead and do it the sure thing. I'm not going to let you get both. What's it called?
Yeah, like kids
Illumination.
movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm glad it's a good thing you did that because I 100% was gonna take that
Yeah.
next. That was
I'm not making that mistake
honestly,
again.
yeah. That was the number two movie on my board. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That was a good call. I feel like that's good. Like it feels like it's gonna do really well. You know, the Minion movies make a lot of money. I feel like you think, oh, the Despicable Me movies make more and the Minions won't make as much. No, the Minion movies actually kind of make more somehow.
I looked this up. It's so bizarre. The Despicable Me franchise, every single Despicable Me movie since the first one, I believe, if I looked up this correctly, has made in the
Yeah.
$900 million range, if not
Yes.
more.
Yes. It's
Despicable Me
insane. But
4, a movie no one saw, made $900 million.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like it prints money. It's again, it's one of those movies that it's a surefire pick. It's got a lot of the expectation is really solid. And I think it's going to do really well regardless. But unfortunately, I must pick now, even though that would have been I would have loved that pick. All right, the next one is one that I personally am not super sold on for various reasons, but because of the brand, as well as when it comes out next to what it comes out with, I'm gonna take Mando and Grogu
Oh, you find that
because
okay?
yeah,
That was
because
yours to take because I was not going to touch that.
I figured, but the thing is, this isn't as much about the movie, it's about when the movie comes out. Because if you look at the calendar, there's nothing coming out for like 3 or 4 weeks after this movie drops.
Okay.
And with the brand, how much people talk about The Mandalorian, how much they love Baby Yoda, and also the name Star Wars at the top in big letters.
Yeah.
I sense it'll do well. I know it's a pretty high budget, but I think it's going to do just fine.
It's a
And
high budget, but it's not as high as I thought it would be. It's only
that's what I'm
165.
saying. And I'm okay with that risk because potentially this movie could crush.
Yeah.
And for me, it's worth it personally.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we need, I'm not trying to take too many risks. I'm trying to take the ones that I think will definitely do well, or at worst, the floor I think will be fine. And I think this is one of those where I don't expect it to go out of the park, but I expect to get on first base.
Yeah. Like Pedro Pascal is still a pretty big name. The Mandalorian, is considered a very, at least, more or less a good Star Wars series. However, the show, the show ended 3 years ago, so I don't know if people like at this point care as much about the franchise as they did back then. Although it is the first Star Wars movie to come out since Rise of Skywalker,
That's
so
what I'm
that
saying.
could kind of go in other direction of
That's
like, oh
what
no,
I'm
another
saying.
movie where it can't be as bad as Rise of Skywalker. So
I mean, that's kind of my thing. And again, I know it's better, but it's like, it hasn't been a Star Wars movie in a while. There's not really a lot coming out when this comes out specifically. It's like, it's the summertime. You go to see Star Wars movie and everybody likes Baby Yoda. Like people are going to see this one. So I feel good about it. But my next pick, another movie, I know people are going to, it's not my demographic, but I know people are going to see this because all my friends who have kids are already talking about it. But these movies surprisingly make a lot more money, but I'm going to go with Paw Patrol.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
Yeah, because this movie's this movie's expected to gross like about 250 million more or less because the last couple have really added up. Kids love this stuff and their money still counts. To be honest. So I really saw this. My buddy Chase, we were in the church together. He's already telling his kids are already like, Dad, are we gonna go see Paw Patrol? He's like, yeah, it's cool. We're gonna do this, so definitely a movie you could just have your kids sit in front of the screen. And it's got dinosaurs in it too. I mean, come on, kids love dinosaurs. So
that's just double whammy of things kids like. That is a very good
absolutely. I see that going well for the summer. And it's a good time during the summer too. So I think it's gonna work.
August?
Yeah, it's like near the end of the year where there's not a lot else coming out.
Yeah.
Or the end of the season.
Okay. My next pick is gonna be one that's coming out like soon, that being the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
It needs 170 million to break even. The first one made $400 million during the peak of COVID while it also streamed on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I think it has a good chance of breaking that opening weekend, if not getting at least close to it.
Yeah, and it's like, that's a good weekend too, because it's kind of coming out soon. Everyone likes Mortal Kombat. That could be a big one. Especially with the budget being as low as this.
I also feel that it looks more like it wants to be a Mortal Kombat because the first one had a random original character as the protagonist. The Mortal Kombat tournament didn't even happen. They had like a tournament before the tournament, so then they can get to the tournament.
Yes.
Like there's a couple of references that like don't quite do what I wanted them to. Like they fought over a spike pit and then didn't throw anyone into the spike pit, even though that's like the most iconic thing from 2, but whatever. We're getting a lot more characters. Like some of the original characters are coming back. Johnny Cage, now played by Carl Urban. Like that's, I feel like that's just kind of
That's going to be a great. Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's a great pick. That was on my board. That was like a few picks down, but that was one I was definitely like thinking about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. One that I wanted to pick last time, but it got delayed into May. Um,
Yeah,
I thought it would have a budget. I assume it has at least 100 million budget. That's just how movies are nowadays.
probably
But
at least.
like,
Yeah,
this seems
that
like
is
one of
one.
those like legacy sequels that could be really big.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, this definitely. I mean, the amount of people talk about it, it's really good. You know, they and like Anne Hathaway makes her return and all this stuff. But I get my thing
Mhm.
is like, I, I was my nervousness was the budget, and I'm like, I don't know how much the budget's gonna be, and
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest thing with the site. And like, I'm not saying it's the site's fault or anything. I'm not like, that's not me. But it's like, man,
Mm.
these budgets are like,
They can make or
like I
break
don't know, like
these. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like a bad budget, it doesn't matter if a movie even does well. If the budget's 250 million, I mean, having to get that back is so difficult.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I don't know if I want to take the and I'm not saying this movie won't do well. I think it will do well, but it's also like I feel like the existence of TikTok was going to help this movie tremendously,
Yes. And I feel
which
like
I
it's one
think.
of those movies where because there's not a lot of VFX needed, surely the most of the budget is just going to the actors. Like
Yeah.
it's surely going to have like 80 to maybe 100. You can't have much more than that, right?
I mean,
Please.
I don't know because I don't know because I mean you've got some big names in here, and the thing is like it's one of those like how much you're gonna pay us to come back type of deal. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know because like I can see that going up to like 150 or something, and
Yeah.
then it
And
starts to get
Emily
a little
Blunt is a
pricey.
much bigger name than she was back in 2007, whenever
Yes,
that came out. So,
that is true, but that also means she can command a lot more cash to come
yeah.
back in the first place. So I don't know. That's a good pick though. It was on my board, but I'm like
Hmm.
I personally am just a little scared by that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't love that. But all right, so
Okay.
my pick, another movie I am definitely not going to see at all, like zero
Hmm.
chance, but they make money. I'm gonna get Insidious.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, these movies notoriously have low budget
Hmm.
and
It should
well
too.
outperform them. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I looked up the history of a lot of these movies, and they do pretty well based on what they're expected. So I
Yeah.
picked this movie. People like these movies. I don't watch these kind of movies because I like to sleep at night, but
Yeah.
not everyone does.
I think this is also kind of being pitched as like a kind of finale to the series. I'm not exactly sure
Yeah,
about that.
that's what I've kind of heard too. There's a couple of movies like that coming out this year that I've kind of heard about, so I'm
Hmm.
interested to see how that goes. But I think that kind of might give an like it worries me a little because again, I don't think the budget was listed, but I looked
Yeah.
online and found some estimates and won't be a lot. So
It'll be in the low, like like between 10 to 50, no more than that.
yeah, yeah. I think it's average of like 20 million for like the
Hmm.
last three. So I expected 25, and I'm like, okay,
25, 30, yeah.
yeah, we can make that back. Hopefully, we
Hmm.
can make that happen. Um,
I got
and
one more.
then I know I've got my board on what needs to be picked, but I'm like, do I want to make this pick? Do I not? And I'm like, I
It's
feel
your
like it's
time.
not worth the risk. I know, but I'm like, I might wait on this because I don't feel like it's. But uh,
I have two more picks, so if you don't pick it, I might.
I know you're probably going to pick, and I feel like I have a lot you're not going to think of too,
Hmm.
which is why I'm like, maybe I should just pick this now. But I'm between two. I'm thinking. All right, you know what? I'm going for it.
Okay.
This could very much blow up in my face. I
Hmm.
completely understand that. But it could also work out very well. because of the demographic and because it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god. Oh, this is no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't
What?
do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna
Okay.
pick the other one.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see
No, I'm
if
gonna
I
pick
pick it.
I'm gonna pick wait, okay, what are the are they gonna hold on?
No,
Sorry.
you're fine.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to fall asleep on the clock. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Okay.
it. I'm taking Moana. I think I
Yeah.
know it's risky because it's a really big budget and it's live action, which is different. If this was animated, like if this was Moana 3, would have taken it in a heartbeat
Oh
rounds
yeah.
ago. But because it's live action and I feel the Dwayne Johnson fatigue is just real at this point,
That is true.
I'm like so worried this is gonna flop. But I'm like, it's Moana. Moana 2 destroyed at the box office, and it's worth the upside. It is
Yeah.
because it's like it's one of those. If it goes wrong, you'll feel it, but if it goes right, that might be all it takes. And I
Like,
guess at this point in the draft, it's worth taking that boomer bust potential just because you never know. But yeah,
because here's what I think everything that's going towards this movie. A, Moana 2, like you said, somehow broke $1 billion even though no
somehow,
one saw that movie.
no, like I was stunned.
Still haven't seen a single clip from the movie. Yeah, $1 billion. Two, is coming out like middle, like July 12th ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of between a lot of other bigger movies like Toy Story and Supergirl are later in the year, which I don't even know if anyone's picking Supergirl. We'll get that, but whatever. But it's definitely before Spider Man, so there's like a couple
Yeah,
of weeks where there's not anything like massive coming out. And three, people kind of crap on Disney live action remakes, but this could be a Snow White situation with made hundreds of negatives of millions of dollars, or it could be a Lilo and Stitch from last year, which somehow made $1 billion, even though it
that's what
wasn't
I'm
very good.
saying. And that's kind of what I thought. I literally was thinking about Lilo and Stitch because I was like, nobody asked for this movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that good, and yet it destroyed at the box office. So I guess it's like I think it's one of those things where it's like even though I would normally run away from this, it's like history has shown me that this kind of movie gets rewarded, even though I don't
Yeah.
think it should.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will
Absolutely
just
not.
because of how it's happened. Now, I do think the Dwayne Johnson factor and just everyone, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know if he's really gonna,
Mm-hmm.
how this is gonna go, but I just I would feel, I'd feel like I'd miss out if I didn't take it and then it crushes and I'm like, dang, I
Yeah,
knew that was gonna probably happen.
exactly. Because yeah, if you didn't take that, I was going to take it. So I'm very curious what the
Right.
other one you're thinking of, but we'll see if I get it here. Um, this next one I'm picking is definitely. I'm already kind of at the point where I'm starting to take some risks. I think,
Yes.
but I'm going to take one that I think it's either going to be one of those where it's just a generational massive flop for this director, or it could be a Project Hail Mary situation where it comes out, it's just critically loved, everyone goes see it, and like it's actually a good movie. That being Disclosure Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a Spielberg movie again. Like I said, Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor is also a bigger name now. Like it's actually coming at the same day as Moana, I think. So that's no, sorry, before, whatever.
2 days
Mid
after.
June, like I think there's a
Oh,
again,
no,
it
it's not
could
fun.
either get completely buried or it could like actually be a cold hit. So I don't really know anything about the movie. All I know is that the trailer I saw before watching Project Hail Mary was intriguing. So we'll we'll see how that goes.
Fair enough.
And this next one, is one that um, I think the chances of it making a ton of money is zero, but it'll definitely make its budget back, and I think that's kind of that's just kind of what I want to do right now. This movie called Obsession.
Yeah.
It's being
Mm-hmm.
produced by a YouTube duo called that. I think it's called That's a Bad Idea. I really like their YouTube shorts, and like it's kind of a similar vein as the Markiplier movies, where incredibly low budget of only $1 million, but it's actually being produced or published, whatever, yeah, produced by Blumhouse. So it's like actually has a real studio behind it. And I think it actually has a pretty interesting concept where this guy like basically makes a wish to make his crush just obsessed with him. Like, and that obviously goes, horror, just nonsense
Right.
there. If it makes $3 million, that's profit for me. I think it can do that. So
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the bar. I mean, and again, worst case, literally, if nobody sees it, it's just minus 2.5,
that's also,
which
yeah,
won't happen. So it's like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So it's like, that's like that was on my list too. It's like the ultimate, like, no risk potential reward.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like the worst case scenario, I lose $2 million. Like I'll be fine.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, back on the board. So the next one I'm going to pick is a classic and something my brother loves. I kind of
Hmm.
like whatever to these, but they're very low budget, but they make a decent amount of money. I'm gonna go with Jackass.
Oh,
Best film
okay.
last. Yeah, these movies are interesting because if you look at the history, I mean, the budgets are, I mean, nothing.
Nothing.
They're like 5, 10 million, and
Yeah.
they make around 100 or so, and it's not like a
Hmm.
ton, but like the last one made like 90 million on a $15 million budget. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like it's not going to win you the game, but it's not going to lose,
Yeah.
and
And
I
that was
think
also kind of during COVID, so this could, be
that's
better.
what I'm saying. So like it could be. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be like it says best and last, so I'm like, maybe this is the last time they do it, so maybe that gives
Maybe.
them a little extra something for the like
Yeah.
dedicated long-term fans. But I don't know. But I'll take it if it does.
Hmm.
Okay, and then moving on to my next thing, I'm gonna take this one's I hopefully it picks up kind of the vibe that we got from last year's anime movies, but I'm gonna
Uh,
take Reincarnated as a Slime movie.
okay.
I've never once in my life seen this anime, but it's talked about enough that I could see it making something.
Yeah.
And because of that, again, the floor is very low because, it's like, it's gonna have a budget of maybe 10 million.
Right.
So, if it does that well, even in just Japan, great. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I
Absolutely.
think it'll be totally fine. I think it's a low risk potential reward. I don't think it's gonna make anything near Infinity Castle by any means,
No, I
but
don't even think it'll make Reze Arc, Chainsaw Man numbers, which is
no,
not as
no.
mainstream as those, but it's still pretty popular franchise. So,
Yeah, it's popular enough that it's worth taking, I feel like. Again, safe floor, potential, something, but
mhm.
not really likely to be, not something
Yeah.
I would love to pick.
Yeah. Okay. I am going for another Legacy sequel,
Right.
Super Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Super Troopers 3 Winter Soldiers. Amazing title. Um, these movies also have just incredibly low budgets. This might be a situation where, like, because it has grown this kind of cult classic status over the years, the studio wants to put more budget into it, so it ends up kind of biting me. But the movies, like, they make not a lot, but I think it'll at least break even. So
Mm,
yeah.
solid pick, definitely.
And another, actually, there's another horror movie that actually this is actually my last pick. Yeah. Okay. Um, Let me make sure that this is the one I was thinking of. There were two movies I was looking at that had kind of lower budgets. No, that's not it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, this one, Backrooms.
Oh.
Uh, this is actually a horror movie, kind of like it's one of those horror movies, kind of based on an internet meme. Um, I'm curious to see like if it's actually good. It might, you know, be like get some traction, but it also might tank. But I think it has a low enough budget, only 25 million, where if it doesn't do amazingly, it's not going to like bring me down too much.
Hmm.
It is also coming out kind of before a lot of other stuff, so
Right.
yeah,
Smart.
I think I'm happy with that being my last real pick.
Makes sense.
Okay, all right, what do you got?
Okay, my past pick is going to be kind of not a horror movie per se, but a movie that like, suspense, I guess.
Mm,
But again, low budget, last one had a low budget, did pretty well. I'm gonna take Fall 2, even though it
okay,
sounds stupid. It's just kind of like, the last one literally had a $3 million budget, made 21 million. I feel like this
really?
one might,
Huh.
yeah. So while I feel like this one probably won't make as much as the first one, because Fall 2 already sounds stupid, but it's like, you know, again,
Who knows?
low budget enough that like at least some people will see it. It comes out in August, which is kind of at the end of the summer movie cycle.
Yeah,
So it'll kind of be like, hey, we got to see something. Oh yeah, let's go see Fall. That was good. Like, kind of thing. So hopefully
I
that,
saw the first one. It's one of those movies that I think everyone's seen a good amount of through YouTube Shorts and TikTok clips.
yes,
So
yes. Also very much counting on that
yeah,
too, because I don't.
okay. So then you get
Yeah.
one
And
alternate
then
pick.
one alternate pick. Yeah, I'm gonna take kind of another low risker one just because I don't really want. But this is one I had never heard of in my entire life, and then just looked it up randomly, and it was like, oh, this movie made like kind of some money for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? Sure, why not? Low budget. So I'm gonna do. I don't know the Amazing Digital Circus,
Yeah.
whatever the heck this is. I don't know what it is really, but it is a low budget and apparently did okay. So I'm like, you know what? That'll be a good pick to kind of just be less safe. If something goes wrong, that's not going to change where I'm at too much, good or
Mm.
bad. Which I think is what I want for an alternate in this draft.
Yeah. It's a from what I understand about it, it was originally a YouTube series that essentially I think got
Yes.
picked up by Amazon to be like a full on Amazon produced series and then actually got a movie. So,
Yeah. So
it
perfect.
might do something. And my pick is a complete heart pick. I do not believe in the slightest that this movie will actually make money. I think I'm not going to say that Warner Brothers was correct for shelving it. I'm not saying that at all, but I do think that, over time people have kind of forgotten about it. When it actually comes out, it's not going to, like, people aren't really going to show up for it. Coyote versus Acme.
Hmm.
Um,
I kind of thought you were gonna pick that sooner. I'm not gonna lie.
it has a 175 million break even
Yeah, that's
point.
why I saw it. I was like, that's a
If
big
it
one.
were if it were 150 or less, I would have picked it up in a heartbeat. But that's just a little too high for me to take that risk.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's a fair choice. I do like where it is on the calendar though. I think
yes,
end of August is a great spot for it.
absolutely. Yeah, like it has Will Forte and John Cena in it. Like I think that
Yeah.
it just I love me some Looney Tunes. I love the story behind this. Just the concept of this movie where it's originally going to be released, I think, in theaters, maybe on HBO. It was going to be released in some capacity in 2022 or three, but Warner Brothers was in their era of just canceling every movie under the sun to get tax kickbacks, and
Hmm.
then a random company called Catch Up Entertainment bought this and the rights to this and Looney Tunes: The Day the Earth Blew Up, which I saw last year, and Year before, I saw when it came out in theaters, and I enjoyed it. But kind of where my worries with this is no one saw that. Either it made
Yeah.
5 million total when it hit theaters. So you know, I'm drafting it just to put good vibes out there. I don't think it'll actually make money, but you know what? I I'm just putting it there just so I hope it does.
Yeah. Worth it.
Um, yeah, I was a little. I'm not like surprised, but I am a little disappointed that neither of us picked Supergirl.
Supergirl. I mean, it's not even because of what I think about Supergirl. It's because of what I think people think about the Supergirl movie. And I think that's why. I would love it if it beats expectations, but I'm like, it has a pretty significant budget. And if, while Lobo looks awesome, I feel like people are be like, I don't really want to see a Supergirl movie. It also comes out kind of in the heart of when everything else comes out, which means it's kind of easily missable. And and that worries me, especially with that much budget. Because again, it's not about how I feel about it, but it feels like if everyone doesn't love it, it's gonna hurt the bottom line. We can't have that.
Absolutely. Okay, let's lock these picks.
Lock it in.
Okay, let's see what the scoreboard looks like now. It's a lot more to take in, but that's good. Oh, it updated. Okay, cool.
Oh wow.
So since we did this at the
Hey, we're in the
you're in the
green.
green.
Let's
93
go.
million in the green. That's really good.
Let's
Hoppers
listen.
stay in the red. Hoppers stay right there. I'm not going to give you money.
Hoppers did not move.
Yeah, seven hundred
Oh
and
man,
forty-seven million dollars for you. That's pretty
that's what I'm
good.
talking about.
You mean
Wait,
Tuscany
is
went
that
up a
so?
little bit? Like, yeah, pretty
Woo!
good. And then yeah,
Beautiful.
Project Hail Mary is like I said, 573. So I also went up a little bit, but
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
I think this
Okay,
is a very good jumping off point for both of us. Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna say it was touch and go there for a minute, but I mean
mm,
we're moving.
yeah. Still can't believe I have to root for He-Man.
Yeah, I'm still kind of hoping that movie completely falls apart. I'm not gonna lie. With all due respect, I'm like, oh man,
That's
this
fair.
hopefully that's terrible, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I like
Okay.
how it
So
also just kind of puts our movies in here. Okay, so they're just kind of in our.
yeah,
Okay. Oh man, dude, this is gonna be.
yeah. And this website did include a feature where at any point we like if we both agree on it, I can go in and like change individual picks. If we, for whatever reason, just feel like something was unfair, we can change something after the fact. Like if a alternate pick did significantly better than one of our other picks, we can potentially
Okay.
change it. So if at the end of the day, like the amount that Crime 101 killed you and the amount that they will kill you, like since that had a significantly less hit to you. If the variance of that would have put you over, we can maybe work something out there, but
Hmm.
we'll cross the road bridge when we get there.
Okay. See, what I'm hearing is you want to put the bride in your starting lineup. That's what I
Heck
heard.
no. See, I feel bad for anybody that picked that.
Oh my god.
23 million
That's what I'm
total.
saying. On a 90 million budget, 23.8 million
That's
is
crazy.
diabolical. That is rough, man.
But if something down here makes less than that, then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. You know what I also realized?
Mhm.
I realized that Spider-Man comes out this summer, and then your numbers are going to be like way over mine until the end of the year,
Well,
so
I
I can
mean,
catch
we'll
up.
see.
I mean,
He-Man could just
yeah,
completely tank. I need to make 500.
He-Man would have to be like the worst movie ever.
He needs to make 500 to break even.
It does. That is rough. But you also have Spider-Man, which is,
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's going to do
guaranteed
great.
1.2 at least, right?
So I guess my
At
thing is
least.
like, so if Avengers like gets delayed, do I just get stuck with whatever my alternate pick is, I guess, or whatever
Uh,
best alternate pick I get, because that does
let's
scare
put
me
it
when I
this
think
way:
about it.
if Avengers gets delayed, I will give you Dune.
You'll give me okay, that's
Yeah,
fair. Okay, that's fair.
unless
Yeah,
you can like think of something that'd be more equivalent.
yeah, because
I
I was
think
like, I don't even know, because at that point it's like, well, you kind of lost automatically. But I don't know, but no, it'll be fun. That was like the only thing I was like, oh man, this isn't gonna get delayed.
they're
But
confident that it's actually is not moving at all. So
okay, well, maybe Dune will move. Who knows? But
yeah, I don't know.
do you really think they're both gonna come out the same day? Like that just
They're
feels
they're
like
both
why?
they're both sticking strong on it.
Doomsday. We want to make it a meme. No, you can't do
Damn it.
Barbenheimer. You can't make it happen. It just has to happen on its own. You can't force
Hmm.
it. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about it. I like the picks. I like these picks. I'm excited
Yeah,
about this.
I
I feel
think.
like this slate was a lot better because I feel like the last time I was struggling to even. Granted, I didn't do more research this time,
Mm,
but I'm like, I feel like last time by the last couple of picks, I was like, I don't freaking know. Like, you know what I mean? It was like
right.
there was nothing else really coming out, but here is like there was still stuff on the board I could have picked, So it was like, yeah, this is pretty. This felt
Yeah,
pretty good.
I think essentially the way our lineup is right now, if Moana does as well as Lilo and Stitch, I think our like groups will probably be about even, assuming that happens, because Toy
Hopefully,
Story matches Minions, if not surpasses it.
yeah,
Um, Moana, if that does a billion, then yeah, I think that'll split the difference from everything else. Like, and then again, I could
yeah,
have picked some stinkers as well. Disclosure Day might have a high budget and tank, and Paw Patrol might make
yeah.
500 million. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Is like you don't know, like Combat's gonna do really good, and like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like it really is just gonna be like, all right, what are the numbers? Because the thing is the budgets. It's like I feel like if the budgets are too great, it's gonna be hard. Which is like
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I was like with Moana, I was so like, but I'm like, nah, it's potentially worth it because it could get there, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna get oh.
Because I'm dreading the day I come to this website and it's like the Devil Wears Prada 2 budget's been updated to 120 million. It's like, but why?
Like for what?
Yeah, the costumes look good, but they can't be that much.
Literally. That's the thing. I just the not knowing the budgets made this so much harder. I
Mm,
will say that because I feel like if I knew all the budgets for all the movies, I would have had much less trouble. But like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's probably gonna have this based on history. Like, thankfully, a lot of these movies are sequels or some kind, so like you can track it. But it's like
Mm.
still like one pick that like the other was picked and for good rate. So, Scary Movie 6.
That was kind of on my radar too.
Yeah,
But
it's one of those, but it's
mm,
weird though because like most scary movies, low budget, make money. This movie is reportedly going to have a $200 million budget.
200? Are you
Yes,
kidding me?
because it's like the Wayans brothers are doing because last year with the whole him thing, and then it got destroyed by Demon Slayer, and now they're like, okay, we're gonna do scary movie, and we're gonna make it like super expensive. So like supposedly
I
that's
see.
gonna be their like get back movie, which I'm
The trailer didn't look
even
very good.
even if it does amazing, 200 is insane.
Okay. Well, I hope that goes well for them. But yeah, that was
That's what
not.
I'm saying. I'm like, are you serious? Like
I'm glad I didn't pick it.
that literal. Like I saw that because I thought about it and I was like, oh no.
Mhm. Okay. Well, well, this is a lot of fun. It'll be very interesting, seeing where these lie. Some of these are actually coming out kind of soon, like Mortal Kombat and Devil Wears Prada. So, do you have any movies in May outside of
I think
Mando? Oh,
I think it
the anime
my
one.
first one,
Yeah.
reincarnated as a slime, and then I think is that it? Yeah, I think
Um,
that's it
yeah.
for
Okay.
May. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Again, the bar is just like don't lose money. But I
Please.
mean, But again, even if it does, I'm sure the budget's nothing. So we'll be
All right.
fine.
So we'll do like a mid-season just kind of recap sometime probably end of June, early July, somewhere around there, and then we'll come back again probably in late August to do the winter, I guess the fall picks. So all right, with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care.